Men, let's talk about what it is to be a man of consequence. A man of consequence. A man of consequence has a vision of God's favor and rejects passivity. A man of confidence has a vision of God's favor and rejects passivity. God's favor, what is that? That is the kindness and the personal approval that comes from God through Jesus Christ. That's what God's favor is. And God gives it for life, for forgiveness, for opportunities, for relationships. It is just, Noah came along, he found God's favor. He's like, yes, I will take God's favor. I want God to walk with me and smile upon me and do what only he can do. And it's important that we know it was found. It was not earned. It was almost like he was walking along in a field and like stumbles into, oh, here's favor. Whoa. Has anyone seen this? I think I'm going to have this. I think I'm going to keep this favor. I think I'll take it. He found it. And what was that favor? That favor really was, it was God's approval, not because Noah was such a righteous man or because he did so much right. It was because God already knew, Book of Romans tells us, because God already knew Jesus Christ would die on the cross, he applied the blood not only to people that came after Jesus, but people who came before Jesus. That's why he doesn't instantly destroy Adam. That's why he doesn't instantly destroy Noah. That's why he doesn't instantly destroy all the Israelites, because there's already been a sacrifice before the foundation of the world, and I've placed it on my people. And so therefore, he found favor. He didn't earn favor, but he began to walk with God. My story's a little bit like that. I grew up in a place where there was good truth talked about, but there was so much religious paraphernalia that it's like you missed the core message. There was a lot of religious stuff. And then I went to a Bible study when I was 18, and I ran into the scriptures. I was like, well, we didn't really go in the scriptures before. And what I found, hidden in a field, so to speak, was Jesus himself. Jesus himself is very different than all the religious stuff about him. In fact, he talked about this very thing happening. It was a parable in Matthew 13:44. Jesus said this, he said, the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field, which a man found and covered up. Then in his joy, he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field. See, in Jesus' time, you could find treasure in a field maybe. There's no banks, so people might bury their treasure. Maybe they die, no one even knows it's there. The property changes hand, and one day you stumble along, oh my gosh, there's a treasure here. And this isn't even my land. And so what do you say? This is way more than I've got. I'm gonna go sell everything I have to get this land so that I can have this before anybody else snatches it up. He's excited because he found something special that no one else knows about. And that's what I felt like. I felt like that in that little apartment, in that little Bible study. I was like, what? Do people even know about this? I know everybody knows about Jesus, but I don't think they do. Because this is a guy who not just wants to forgive you, he'll walk with you. He'll be your very best friend. He'll be the one that gives you radical favor, but most of all, he will love you more than anyone else in the world, even though he knows everything that you've done wrong. So men, the first thing we've got to do, the first most important thing, the vision, the thing that's important right now is God's favor. And it's God's favor through Christ. Listen, the most important thing we can do, guys, every day is walk with Jesus Christ. That's going to affect not only our lives and the people's lives who we touch, it's going to affect the posterity. It's going to affect the story that is told long after you and I are gone. I really thought there would be more amens by this point in the sermon. But guys, I'm going to be persistent, okay? I'm going to accept my responsibility and keep on going. Here's what men do with the favor of God. They reject passivity. They reject passivity. There is a temptation that comes along. It's a temptation to be apathetic. It's a temptation to respond in fear. It's a lazy thing. It's like, I know stuff is happening, but I don't want to get involved. And here's the thing. It's internal. It starts internal. It starts in the heart. And the danger of passivity is it almost feels harmless because, men, you know this. It's almost like, well, I'm not doing anything wrong. Yeah, but what you really are doing when you're passive is you're slowly retreating silently. You're pulling back and disengaging. And you're saying, hey, how about I just sit this one out? How about it's not going to be on me? But that's not what Noah did, right? Like Noah, he went to work, man. Like he accepted it. He wasn't concerned about what his neighbors, what the people thought about it. He didn't need their validation. He didn't need anyone, like it's going to rain. Okay, I'm going to get busy building this thing. It's going to take a very long time. What about us, dudes? Here's some practical stuff. Guys, there comes a time as a dad, I know you don't want to make anybody like feel pressure or anything like that, but sometimes your job is to speak up. It's to say something. It's like, that's not what we're gonna do. At least that's not what I'm going to do. It's your job to not be passive, to not sit back, to not slowly retreat. It's your job to say, hey, how about this? After we're finished watching this movie, kids, before we scatter, let's all pray. Let's go around. What's happening? What's going on in your life? What's something a friend needs? What do you need? I could just sit back and say, well, they'll do that at church. No, Dad, you do it. You do it. You engage it. Don't be passive. It could be, you're not going to want to do this. It may be time, you know what, it's time to check their phone because I don't know what's on there. And I don't feel like doing it. Yeah, you ain't going to feel like doing it. No, I didn't feel like building the ark, probably. But you got to do it. You got to step in. You got to check. And whatever else those things are, where there's a quiet, you can hear it almost in your heart. I should do something about this. Somebody should at least. Yeah, it might be you. So pay attention to that thing.